his box outs this series have been amazing. You know, Capella is there every play, and Draymond finds a way to box him out and still get his hand on the rebound and either get it himself or direct it to a teammate. So, yeah, I mean, finishing a possession is such a big part of defense. It's not just field goal percentage defense. That's a good indicator, but you know, keeping them off the offensive glass is a big deal too.
Does it take it?
What's that?
How ancient NBA skill is that wipeout box out?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that seems to elude lots of players in the league. You know, a lot of guys, shot goes up and they just turn and look. And, you know, you can't turn and look. You've got to see if your guy's coming. I think the game's changed. I don't think you kind of box out like you did 30 years ago where you step into them and you turn and you seal. I think it's more you kind of hit a guy in the chest, just knock his balance off and then go get the ball. But in this series, I'm seeing a lot of traditional box outs from Draymond because Capella is down on the baseline, and as the shot goes up, Draymond's taking him out. He's doing a great job of that.
Does it take a 41-point win for us to not ask you about Draymond getting a team?
I'm here for you, Ann. That's why I won a Rudy Tomjanovich award yesterday. That's right. So, in fact, if you don't mind, I'd rather talk about that. Yeah. I'm thrilled. Let's go back to the series now.
But the tee coming late in the game, I mean that.
Yeah, I thought it was unfair, but you know, we'll take it up with the league. You know, he committed a hard foul, but he held Ariza up, and you know, didn't allow him to get hurt, and then Ariza shoved him. Didn't seem like a double technical to me, so we'll take it up with the league and we'll see what happens.
Before Steph broke open, both Katie and Draymond were very steadfast in supporting him, saying that they believed that it was just a matter of time before that happened. What type of effect does that have on a shooter? Just like guys having that much confidence in them?
I think it helps to have the confidence of your teammates, but the main thing is to have the confidence in yourself, and that's what makes Steph so special. It doesn't matter, even on the biggest stage, you know, he can have a difficult stretch, and he genuinely believes the next one's going in. You could see that last night, and you know, he missed, I think he was 1 for 6 in the first half from 3, but you knew it was just a matter of time, and he finally got it going. But we've seen that from him throughout his career. It's a special kind of confidence that very few players have.
Do you think the guys in the locker room have like a special belief in each other compared to other teams that you've been around?
Great teams generally have a lot of belief. Championship teams have a lot of belief. That's how you're able to win one in the first place.
Steph's taking like twice as many from 5 feet and in than he normally does per game. I know it's only 3 games, but why do you think he's been able to be so deadly inside in this series?
Well, they're a pretty unique team with all their switching. You know, if they want to take away some of his threes, they're going to be able to, but that leaves the paint exposed. They're switching everything, so Capella frequently ends up on the perimeter. And then they don't have shot blocking if Capella's not at the rim. So Steph's just making good reads, getting into the paint, finishing, and then obviously he got the 3 going last night as well.
What's your favorite Steph celebration that you've seen, and what was your best one as a
Yeah, I had a lot of them. My favorite, I've told this story before, my favorite Steph celebration was the shimmy in Portland when he finally made a 3 that got him to 1 for 11. So you want to talk about confidence? You shimmy when you're 1 for 11. That's confidence.
Mike D'Antoni. He said he's his big. He said sometimes you just have to be out there and be your own biggest fan, and true. Have amnesia.
It's true. It's true. I wasn't capable of that. You know, I'd go into a shell if I missed 4 or 5 threes in a row. Most guys would, to be honest with you, but he's a different breed.
Mike D'Antoni said this morning he thinks the pressure will be on you guys tomorrow night, that it's a must-win game for you guys. Is that an accurate statement, or do you see it that way?
I hope so. We're much better when the pressure's on, and he's right. I mean, we're at home, so if they win, they have home court advantage. So yeah, pressure's on us, and it's kind of on them too.
Steph said that he would, if he was here, he would show Game 2 film and just say, don't do that.
Yeah.
To prevent a letdown
Yeah.
for tomorrow night. But are you concerned that after a 41-point win that...
Not really.
Series is
You know, Draymond said it the other day. We're allowed one of these games, a series. We already had that game 2, where we let down. This team that we're playing against won 65 games. They had one of the best regular seasons in the history of the game. They got the guy who's probably going to be the MVP. They got Chris Paul, who's a Hall of Famer. You got great role players. They're really well coached. They have a great strategy, excellent defense. We know all these things, and you know it doesn't matter if we won by 1 or 41. You know, Danny Ainge years ago, after a blowout win for the Celtics, and this is how my mind works because he hasn't played for about 30 years, but for some reason I remember stuff like this. I don't remember what I had for breakfast, but I remember what Danny Ainge said 30 years ago. They won a playoff game by 40, and he said, "This is not the Tour de France. You know, you don't start with a big lead because you know, it's not based on time or how much you won by. It's the NBA, so it's 2-1, and it doesn't matter what happened yesterday. We got to be ready for a great team that's going to come out like they did in Game 2, attacking, hair on fire, and taking the force to us, and we got to be ready for that too."
Steve, along those lines, in terms of blowouts, I think in all 6 games in both conference finals, I don't think there's been a game within 10 points yet. Do you attribute that maybe to deliberation on three-point shooting? Why do you think the scores are at this level?
I think the threes have a lot to do with it. You know, these days, game can get away from you quickly if you're giving up a lot of threes, and you know, defense is always the difference. But what happens nowadays, the defense often leads to a three-point barrage for most teams out there. Cleveland, Boston, us, Houston. So I would say if I had to guess, you know, that's why there have been more blowouts, but that's just a guess.
Steph defensively, we keep looking at him, but especially yesterday, they didn't really score on him all that much in his pick and roll. Do you think that helps fuel him even when the shot's not going like it wasn't in the first half, keeps him in the game?
He's pretty competitive, you guys know that, and when they pick on him every time, it fires him up, you know, so it's tiring. They're smart to do it, you know, they're trying to wear him down, and they got great one-on-one players. So this is kind of the way we've been attacked in the past too. Cleveland has done it. If you have the personnel to do it, it's a good strategy, but he's better than people think defensively, and he's got quick hands, and he's capable of holding up, and even if they don't, even if they do score, he's got the mental fortitude to just take it and keep playing.
What did you do Quinn Cook did? What Quinn Cook did in limited minutes last night?
Quinn Cook?
Yeah.
Quinn's always ready. He's a pro, so it doesn't matter in the meat of the game or at the end of a blowout. He's going to come out and do his job, and he knocked down a couple shots, and I have the ultimate faith in him, and he could still play a role in this series and beyond if we get further.
Is that theme you hit on this open training camp about playing with an edge defensively? How do you see that kind of evolve throughout the season?
Well, we didn't have it for about half the season, and we've talked about this. It's understandable given the run we've been on the last few years, the wear and tear. But the defensive edge has basically been here during the playoffs, you know, minus a couple of games. But that will determine how far we go, our defensive intensity and our edge.
You talk about getting Steph open, doing some things to get him open, and in the first half there's that sequence where he passed to Draymond off the switch and then cut out for the three and missed it. And then it seems like in the second half he was mostly just going off contested shots. Do you need to do things to get him? Do you think those things help, or does he really need it?
Well, I think anytime we can help a guy get an open shot, that's our job as a staff. I think the thing with Steph, he's more likely to break free just by making one. So if he can get an easy one early, I think that's a big help.
Do you have a standard breakfast? Do you have a standard breakfast?
I do not.
No. What's it? Changes every day.
Changes every day.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's why you can't.
That's why I can't remember.
Steve, you can argue that the end of the first quarter, the last 3.5 minutes, was maybe where the game swung, and it was all based on your defense offense, getting like 10 straight stops. What was it in that flurry defensively that you guys did particularly well?
Thought Looney came in, did a really good job for us, got that big block that led to a bucket at the other end. I just think we were solid. We didn't foul. We made them take tough shots and stayed with it. But that's got to be the game plan, for 48 minutes. Make it difficult, don't foul, keep playing if they do score, and trust that over the course of the game things will work out. Yeah, because he's undersized but still capable of standing up strength-wise to bigger guys and boxing them out. It's pretty unique that he can do it.
Ever look at the film with him go something like, man,
yeah.
maybe a few regular season games he could have done that. I mean, it's obviously
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but there's a lot on the line, so he's bringing it.
They had Scotty here yesterday talking about your guys. What would it take to get Rodman here to talk about Draymond?
What would it
What would it take to get Rodman here to talk about Draymond?
That's not my department. All right. See ya.